Hi, my name is Nur Akila binti Mat Harfizi and I am from Group 7. My group members are Nur Farhana binti Abu Bakar and Kamarul Rizwan bin Sulaiman. I'll present the introduction for our group project, which is the library management system. Nowadays, everything is faster and easier to do, including borrowing and returning books from the library. Instead of manually searching for that particular book that you want to borrow, you can simply use a computer in the library to search for it. That way, you won't waste your time searching for the book that may or may not be available. You simply have to key in the title and the details, such as the author of the book that you want to borrow, and the system will automatically show where the book is. Returning a book will also become easier since you don't have to line up if there's any. This will also be beneficial for the library workers or the librarian since they can easily track any book that has not been written yet and the borrower of the book. Next, my group members will explain more about this system.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Farhana binti Abu Bakar, number matric AA191797. I will present the flowchart and pseudocode. Okay, for the flowchart, it will start and then this option will display on the screen, which is first add book information, second display all books available, 3 borrow book, 4 returning borrow book, and 5 AC. If they choose case 1, yes, the user must enter the book name, publisher name, and lastly enter the book ID. And lastly, it will go in. But if no, it will appear wrong choice and lastly in. For the case, if they choose case 2, which is display all books available, yes, and then the screen will be display all the books that are available. Case 3, yes, the user must enter the book name and ID. If it is successfully, it will display the sentence, which is thank you for borrowing this book. You can borrow this book for 3 weeks. Please return this book before due date. If no, it will go to the wrong choice and then it ends. For the case 4, if yes, the user must enter the book name and ID. If they borrow more than 21 days, it will display you are late returning this book and please pay the fine. Right? If they borrow not more than 21 days, it will display thank you for returning the books within that time. And lastly, for the case 5 is it, and all this will go to end. And for the pseudocode, first start and then the display all options, which is 1 add book information, display all books available, borrow book, returning borrow book, and lastly AC. Third, the user must declare their choice, which is if they choose 1, it will be case 1. The user must key in the book name, the publisher name, and the book ID. For the case 2, if they choose, the screen just display all the available books. For the case 3, the user must key in the book name and ID. If the process for borrow the book are successful, it will display the sentence, which is thank you for borrowing this book. You can borrow this book for 3 weeks. Please return this book before the due date. If they choose option 4, which is B case 4, the user must key in the book name and ID. And if they borrow more than 21, if not more than 21 days, it will display thank you for returning this book within the time. If they borrow more than 21 days, it will display you are late returning this book, please pay the fine. And lastly, case 4, DAC, and 9, and so that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Kamal Rizwan bin Sulaiman. My text number AA191509. So today I will present about the programming of library management. So first, for the declaration of variables, we use the structure to declare the variables named library. So it has a detail of book name, publisher name, and book ID. So we also use the array for the declaration of book name and the publisher name. So for the programming, we use the switch selection function to offer a few features to the user. So the features are add book information, display all book available, borrow books, returning borrow book, and exit. So let's look one by one. So for the case 1, which give you the option to add book information, we use basic programming with 6 printf and 6 scanf to ask the user the book name, the publisher name, and the book ID. So for the case 2, which display all book available, we use for looping statement to display the information of book name, the publisher name or author name, and the book ID. So for the case 3, which give the user, so for the case 3, which help the user to borrow a book, we use a basic programming to insert the book name and ID. After that, we use printf to show the user that he or she is borrowing that book for 3 weeks. So for the case 4, which offer the features to return the borrowed book, first we use printf and scanf to insert the borrowed book details like book name and book ID. Also, we ask the duration of he or she has borrowed the book. Then we use if else function to select the action if he or she return the book within the time. If he or she is late returning the book, he or she will have to pay the fines. So that's all from me. Thank you.
To conclude our group project, programming languages are artificial notational languages that are very useful in helping any organizations or systems to perform specific tasks. This system also helps to ensure the accuracy of items entry and exit and keep track of its data. It also helps in avoiding any major financial losses. For example, without a library management system, people can simply steal books without anyone knowing, and books are not exactly free. In a nutshell, programming languages are very important and helpful for everyday use. That's all from our group. Thank you.